Many filmmakers travel all the way from Los Angeles to Alamogordo to attend the White Sands International Film Festival. Today, I have Rona Montgomery and Scott McConnell with us today. They are the producer and director of the independent film called The Journey. So, Scott and Rona, every independent filmmaker has a very interesting story to tell about how they start their career. So, how did you start your filming career?
Well, my career started, I was always interested in telling stories, even from a young age. I used to make my own little comic books and stuff when I was a kid. And when I was a boy, I started shooting little Super 8 movies in the backyard. And my mom was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I just like to tell stories and make little movies." And so it just kind of led from that to me going to, when I got to college, I started making little films. I went to UC Santa Cruz, and I started making films about the college administration and about the school, and which got me in a lot of trouble with the administration. They were very mad because I was making fun of the school. But my friends and everybody at school loved them. And so, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. So I transferred to NYU, and I did my undergraduate film studies at the Tisch School of the Arts. And then after I got out of school there, I went to graduate school at USC. And while I was at USC, kind of on a lark, some producers approached me, and they offered me almost nothing to write a comedy script. And I said, "Oh, okay, what the heck?" And I got a friend of mine, and I wrote it. And it turned out that the script took off, and it was bought by MGM, and it became Biodome with Pauly Shore. And after that, I dropped out of SC Film School, and I just started writing scripts professionally. And that's kind of how I got in the industry.
Now, you were working for some big companies, so what triggered you to start making independent films?
Well, what triggered me was I was having a good time writing for studios, but at the same time, there's a lot wrong with the studio system. There's a lot of development that goes into every film, and sometimes you have to write a script 50 times, and there's a lot of stuff that the studios just would not make, films that I thought were important, and you just knew it was never going to make it through the studio system. So I had scripts on my shelf that I was just dying to make, and I knew the only way I could really get them going would be if I did it myself and raised private funds and did it independently. So I finally just decided to take the plunge, and I took a script that I really meant a lot to me, and I said, let's just go make this movie, and I convinced my wife to get involved in it. And it started off just where I told her, we're just going to fool around and do it with the home movie camera. It's just going to be this little thing, and then it just kind of grew, and it became a real movie very quickly.
If you wanted to make this film using home cameras and all that, it must have a special meaning to you, a special personal meaning to you. So what inspired you to make this film, The Journey?
Oh, this particular film was very important to me because there was a time between graduate school and undergraduate where I went to South America on a trip. I went from Mexico to almost the tip of South America by bus, and it took a year. And then around the time I got thinking about maybe writing about that, I started having these weird experiences where I would go out and be walking around, and I kept bumping into old girlfriends. And it became just like something weird and supernatural. Like my roommates were making fun of me, like, "Who are you going to meet today, Betty Jean?" And I would meet Betty Jean at a coffee shop. I'd be like, "Oh my God." So we kind of started thinking, the universe is throwing all these girls at you. There's some big thing's going to happen to you. So I kind of started thinking about putting that into the script. And then I started, also, a third thing happened. I was watching TV a lot at the time, and I started, that's when the sort of anti-immigration debate started on. I was like, I saw a different Mexico when I was there. I saw a different Latin America, and I wanted to say that in the script. So it was those three things coming together, and so I sat down and I banged away on the script, and I combined the part about the girlfriends at the beginning of the story, and then I took everything that was part of the Latin America trip, and I kind of condensed it into a trip across Mexico with a guy looking for his girlfriend that he wants to get back together with. And that's kind of what inspired it and how it came together.
Talking about girlfriends, I can't help but notice that the name of the main character's girlfriend is called Rona, and it happens to be the same name as you are. Is it a coincidence, or is there a story behind it?
Well, actually, it is a coincidence. When we met, we actually met online about 6 years ago, and I wrote to Scott first, and he saw my name and commented that there was a strange coincidence related to my name, and I wrote back and I said, "What, do you have an ex-girlfriend named Rona?" And he said, "No, but I'm writing a script, and the character's name just happens to be Rona." And so I guess it was just the universe bringing us together at that time, and it turned out to be our destiny to make this movie.
Well, it's also some destiny that you guys are going through some very interesting production challenges. For example, your crew was under gunfire.
And we're filming, and everything's nice, and then we hear this pop, 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 and somebody on the crew goes, "Is that gunfire?" And I was like, no. Like a good director, I'm like, "That's just a car backfiring. Keep rolling. It's nothing. Trust me, I know everything." And yeah, sure enough, it was gunfire because Mexico had lost a big soccer game, and people gotten drunk and really mad, and they were circling the town square in pickup trucks shooting at each other. So eventually we were all on our stomachs, just waiting for the gunfire to stop. After about an hour, there was a Keystone Cops chase with the cops chasing the guys shooting around the town square for a while. And they finally left, and we got up and finished the scene. And then a mariachi band started playing and ruined our sound. So we ended up having to redub the entire scene. But we got it done.
Well, you never know what happens on location, right? Your film has won many different awards at different film festivals. For those who actually missed the journey at this particular festival, is there a chance for them to see it somewhere else?
Well, The Journey will be showing next month, April, in Oklahoma at the Bare Bones Film Festival. And we've been working the film festival circuit. We've been fortunate enough to win several awards for our soundtrack. And our actor and actress, main actor and actress, have also won awards. So we're very pleased with that. And we're actively marketing the film, trying to pick up distribution. And we have an offer on the table, but we're also searching for other potential offers, and we hope that it will be available soon for people to order on Netflix and Blockbuster, and so that everybody can see it. In the meantime, people are welcome to access our website, www.thejourneythemovie.com, and we can keep them up to date, and we can also provide copies of the movie as well.
You will provide copies to anyone who's interested in this?
At this point, yeah, anybody who's interested. As long as they don't want like 500 copies, we'll definitely, support anybody who's interested in the film. We've been doing a lot of private screenings too, mainly in the LA area, and they've been really well received. We had a sellout at our last screening we did in Los Angeles.
Scott and Ronna, thank you so much for joining us today. Don't miss this award-winning film. You can request a copy of the movie from them. Just log on to the website www.thejourneythemovie.com.